Hi and welcome back to the Hydonso region. Join me today as I create Pokemon based on ancient Egypt. So it only feels natural to start with a cat, or rather a Sphinx. This line was originally a 3-stage evolution I created back in 2001. It began as a cartoony winged cat that eventually evolved into a tiger-like Sphinx creature with strange split tails. Looking back, it's fascinating to see how I interpreted what I learned about the Sphinx and ancient Egypt at the time. Let's recreate them. First up is Faehynx. She is actually a remake of the second stage. It has elements of the third stage in it, but the first stage itself I decided to scrap. But don't worry, it will come back in the future. Faehynx gets her name from Fae, as in the mythological creature or spirit, the mythological creature the Sphinx, and the Sphinx cat breed with almost the same name. I wanted her to have subtle human features while still clearly resembling a cat. It did take some time to find the right balance, but once I decided that she would be a female only and started studying Egyptian cat statues, everything fell into place. And I really like how the nose of the cat looks like the snake tongue. For her coloring, I choose the tones commonly associated with Sphinx and traditional Egyptian headdresses, while still staying somewhat true to the palette of the original designs. Huh? Did that statue just move? Faehynx, the Egyptian cat Pokemon. Fairy type. Ability, Magic Guard and Super Luck. Hidden ability, Illusion, Dex entry. Faehynx spends most of her time standing completely still, silently observing her surroundings, preferably from high places. She's believed to see a person's deepest regrets and judge them accordingly, by manifesting that person's greatest fear as vivid illusions. Faehynx believes she is performing an act of kindness. Because of her severe, judgmental nature, this Pokemon is considered to be extremely difficult to train. For her shiny, I based it on black cats and a common color to see in Egyptian cat statues. What a cutie, right? I had a lot of fun with this one. I'm especially a big fan of her nose. I know that I have a lot of cats in this region already, but at least they are all different. And you know, it's okay, cats are amazing, right? Would you have Faehynx on your team? Let me know below and make sure to like the video, because you might find a Dawnstone to evolve Faehynx into Faehinxline. Her name also comes from Fae, as in the mythological spirit, the Sphinx, and feline, which refer to cats or the whole cat family or species definition. The original design to me was a little bit all over the place, but it was for sure a Sphinx. Much like with pre-evolution, I wanted to add more human elements, so I looked up images of the beauty class trainer as inspiration. And as said before, originally I wanted to be both male and female, but when I changed the plan for it to be female only, it was a lot easier to design her. I mainly focus on the Egyptian mythology of the Sphinx, however I did take some inspiration from Greek myth as well. The headdress turned out to be a bigger challenge than I anticipated. I finally ended up making it into a haircut, which I think worked very well. Further pushing it into human territory and making a beautiful woman, because the more I worked on her, the hotter she became. There is a fine balance here though, it's Pokemon after all. Yet Game Freak isn't afraid to show their freak nature in some official designs. Lopunny. I'm quite pleased with how the design ended up, with elements from the original concept but toned down the messy parts and focusing more on the feminine aspects. And as a result, I created this baddie. Faehinxline, sealed form, the Sphinx statue Pokemon, rock fairy type, ability, puzzling riddle and Zen mode. A Pokemon that was sealed away in an ancient past. Despite her limited movements, she uses psychic abilities to obtain whatever she desires, Those who can solve her riddles are said to be rewarded with a beauty to treasure for the rest of their lives. It's believed that the method used to seal Faehinxline was an ancient technique for capturing Pokémon, though this remains speculation. Her shiny is gold and white, and continues the black cat statue theme from her previous evolution. Pretty cool design, right? I'm quite pleased with it. But you might be a little bit confused right now, yeah? This is what Sphinxes do after all. It's all riddles. Solving this riddle will make her change form. It's all in her ability, Puzzling Riddle. The ability Puzzling Riddle makes the user show up in a sealed form at the start of the battle. While in this form, damage taken from moves that are not super effective is reduced by 10%. If the Pokémon is hit by a super effective move, its sealed form shatters and it changes to its true form. Faehinxline, true form, the Sphinx Pokémon, Fairy Psychic type. Ability, Puzzling Riddle and Zen mode. Hidden ability, Telepathy. Dex entry. A rare Asian Pokémon from a forgotten era. She has recently risen to fame for her breathtaking beauty. Beneath her elegant appearance lies a cunning personality, and she is known to use her charm to manipulate those around her. She refuses to be trained by anyone who cannot solve her riddles and overcome her trials. In the Battle of Beauty, Serpeusk is her greatest rival. The two are celebrated as beauty icons in the Hydonso region. I absolutely love the shiny. She looks like a black queen. This might be one of my favorite shinies I've ever created. It just works so well. I really like how I made her stand out in both design and ability, and how I incorporated the ability into her lore, referencing all the things that Sphinx do. I imagine that you will come across her the same way we found Zen mode Darmanitan in Unova. How cool would that be? But most likely blocking entrances to different places. I think that would be very cool. I was very hesitant to make her a Psychic type, because I already have 3 Psychic cat types in this region, but I just felt like I had to. What do you think? Would you have this baddie on your team? If yes, let me know in the comments what you think about the whole Faehinxline. Onwards to the next Pokemon. So the next bunch of designs is something only a child could imagine. Mammal-looking creatures with banana-shaped mouth that eventually turn into a pharaoh. Love it. The first stage is Kudban. The name comes from the Norwegian phrase din kødd, which is slang expression meaning you fool, you're nonsense, or you idiot. Often used in a derogatory way to refer to an unpleasant person, but in some contexts it can also be used jokingly. And then the ban refers to banana. Kudban takes inspiration from weasels, specifically cartoon weasels, which are often portrayed as evil, cunning, or cowardly antagonists, usually as henchmen or sneaky thieves. You can see this in its criminal mask-like pattern, as well as its sneaky pose. The older designs place a lot of emphasis on dynamic poses, especially in the final evolution. So I wanted to reflect this in the first stage as well, though this dynamic pose was more challenging than I expected, but I got there in the end. Why does it have a banana mouth? Well, child imagination. That's the original silly concept that I came up with. And it's so cool. What was that noise? Kudban, the sly banana Pokemon. Dark type. Ability Sand Force and Pickpocket. Hidden ability Prankster. Dex entry. This Pokemon sneaks around stealing anything of value. It makes no sound while walking. They often work in groups of 4. Despite cooperating, they fight among themselves over the most valuable item. They're often found sneaking around habitats where Monard lives. His banana-like mouth becomes more spotted with age. For his shiny, I flipped the colors and gave it blue eyes. Funny little guy, don't you think? I'm very pleased with how well I managed to portray its personality. Let's see what it evolves into. To evolve it, you need to level up Kudban while you have a money Pokemon in your party. And when I say money Pokemon, I refer to the Money Funny line or the Gimmigool line. This gives you Sleipban. Sadly, I didn't press the record button for this one, so I only have the final design. Ironically, this kind of fits its personality. Sleip in Norwegian means to be cunning, sly and deceive others. And the ban means banana, of course. It's still loosely based on v.II, but now with an evil, rich, corrupt salesman vibe. I took inspiration from the manga/anime, The Laughing Salesman's Smile. The banana mouth is supposed to look like someone replacing their teeth with gold. Sleipban looks intelligent and ready to deceive you. I did struggle a lot with this pose. Not because it's a difficult pose, but I wanted a way more dynamic one. But it just felt unnatural. So I ended up with this simple pose where it looks welcoming, with its fingers visibly clasped behind his back. Watch your pockets. Sleipban, the Sly Banana Pokemon. Dark type. Ability Sand Force and Pickpocket. Hidden ability Prankster. Dex entry. It covers itself with valuable items and usually works alone. The Sleipban carrying the most valuable item is considered to hold the highest authority. Though, exposing this status puts them in greater risk of theft. It has a deceiving personality and often engages in turf wars with Donime. And for the shiny, I made all the gold into silver, and now it looks even more like it's wearing armor, which looks really cool. I like this guy, but he makes me uncomfortable. Just as I intended. What do you think? Would you have it on your team? And in order to evolve Sleipban, I need your help. Comment with a banana emoji, and if you find a golden banana, Sleipban will evolve. More specifically, you need to find and give Sleipban the item Golden Nanab Berry. Then it evolves into Pharoban. Its name comes from Pharaoh and of course, banana. As a child, I was very inspired by cartoons featuring Egyptian story, paintings, lore and mythology. Somehow, that inspired this strange Pokemon line. Over the years, Pharoban turned more and more into a mummy. I almost gave its wrappings in this final design as well, but I turned it into bracelets instead because I felt the whole mummy idea didn't really fit what I was looking for. However, the idea still influenced its skinny body shape, and I wanted to keep it this way to show that it doesn't need to work as hard anymore. He's a pharaoh now. However, that doesn't mean that he isn't strong. But often in stories we see the evil character having this really slim, sickly body as been taken over by darkness. So I feel like it still fits. The banana head became a triangular, steel-like banana. Think Pyramid Head from the Silent Hill series. The design hasn't changed much over the years. Praise the Almighty! Pharoban, the Banana Pharaoh Pokemon. Dark Steel type, ability Rock Head and good as gold. Hidden ability Prankster. Dex entry. Thanks to the ancient power of the Golden Nana Berry, it evolved into Pharoban, gaining the ability to rule. It ruthlessly demands that its underlings provide it with treasures and fight on its behalf. It mimics movements depicted in ancient paintings to summon dark forbidden powers. Its banana-shaped head is solid gold and surprisingly heavy. And just like its pre-evolution, all the gold is now silver and it looks really cool. I almost prefer it. This Pokemon is very nostalgic to me. One I looked forward to recreate for a long time. It was actually an accident that I discovered the Golden Nanab Berry. I wasn't aware of it before making this video. It feels like it was made for this Pokemon. Just imagine this guy constantly dancing on the battlefield. I love it. And if you love it too, Give this video a like and tell me which one from this line is your favorite. Do you think I did the banana guys justice? And did you know about the gold Nana berry? Apparently released in Gen 5. And here we have all the Pokemon I made for this video. This is how I imagined them many years ago. And it's the reason why I make these videos, to honor these childhood drawings. Do you prefer Sphinx cats or banana-shaped weasels? Who is making your team and why? I like them all for different reasons, but I have to go with Pharoban, from pure nostalgia. And as usual, here's a hint for the next video. What could it possibly be? And if you like ancient Pokemon, check out the fossil video. Or if you are interested in the potential of the future, check out this speculative evolution video here. With that, check out my social media, like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video, where we're gonna remake them all. Mads out.